National Geographic names Amtrak Cascades one of the top 10 train trips in North America. Riders use Amtrak Cascades to visit friends and family, for business trips, and for leisure travel. Customers have told us it's one of the best ways to create lifelong memories across generations. Regional and international travelers can enjoy gorgeous views and locally sourced foods and beverages on board. Those features, plus spectacular scenery, make modern-day rail travel enjoyable and a great alternative to driving. In 1994, enabling legislation charged WSDOT with creating a high-quality intercity passenger rail service to address the growing pressure on the state's highway network. WSDOT, in conjunction with the Oregon Department of Transportation, pays Amtrak through a contract to operate the service. Amtrak provides onboard and station staffing, ticket sales, train equipment, maintenance, and other services that make Amtrak Cascades a success. In 2019, Amtrak Cascades carried 829,000 people. 2020 brought a significant decline in ridership and revenue as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Normally, there are 4 Amtrak Cascades round trips per day between Seattle and Portland, 2 more between Seattle and Vancouver, BC, and 2 round trips between Portland and Eugene. Currently, there is only 1 round trip between Seattle and Eugene, with no train service north of Seattle due to the closure of the Canadian border. States like Washington are getting some relief from the Federal CARES Act. For Washington, that results in about $1 million per month from May to December of 2020. Without further federal funding, states will have to absorb those costs in 2021. However, the majority of Amtrak's costs are fixed. This is why decreases in service do not result in equal decreases in expenses. Unfortunately, WSDOT, along with other state-supported routes, have minimal ability to control costs. WSDOT works alongside all the states which have passenger rail service to ensure Amtrak is accountable and transparent, and all costs are equitable. In 2021, WSDOT will be actively working with Amtrak and other states to address operating funding gaps and the best way to restore service levels to match travel demand. Our program works to leverage available federal and private funding. We'd like to share 2 examples. WSDOT is leveraging our relationship with Amtrak and other states to procure new state-of-the-art trains that will be in service for the next 30 years and beyond. New Amtrak Cascades passenger train equipment is needed because the current fleet is getting older and several of the train sets have already been retired. Our trains will be the first off the assembly line in the next 4 to 5 years. WSDOT secured funding through a federal State of Good Repair grant, combined it with insurance proceeds from the 2017 derailment, and leveraged $12.5 million in state funding into $75 million to procure up to 3 new train sets. In the second example, WSDOT secured 2 federal grants to address landslides that can disrupt passenger and freight rail service along the coastal bluffs between Everett and Mukilteo. Work includes slope stabilization and catchment walls that stop debris before they reach the tracks. WSDOT's Rail, Freight, and Ports Division is also working with Sound Transit and Amtrak to return the service to the Point Defiance bypass. Sound Transit has completed its independent safety review and testing on the route, including requalification of Amtrak onboard crews, which will occur in early 2021. The return of Amtrak Cascades service to the route is expected next summer. Amtrak Cascades provides a critical transportation service for residents and visitors in the Pacific Northwest by providing more frequent, timely, and comfortable passenger rail transportation along the I-5 corridor. WSDOT can reduce traffic on the highway, cut greenhouse gas emissions, and support a dynamic regional economy. As the pandemic is brought under control and intercity travel returns, WSDOT expects ridership on Amtrak Cascades to increase. WSDOT is poised to meet that demand and envisions a future where train travel is an established and sought-after way to travel in the Pacific Northwest for decades to come.